Good afternoon. I have also got something new for this session. This is called a phone nursery, and we'll start off with that because we're talking of innovation. And this is an innovation that I support personally. I will ask all of you what this means, but before we start, may I request all the panelists to put your phone in this phone nursery, please. And this session is a special leadership session. So I want to ask you, and you have understood by now that I also think of all of you sitting in the audience as part of the panel. So what is so special about this session? Excellent, excellent. At least 2 women are there. Excellent. Anybody else? Behind my hair, which is again linked to this conference. And the whole idea is I always try to make learning fun. We are part of the development sector, all of us. And it's very stressful, right? We are constantly, if you're part of the corporate sector, we are constantly having to chase quarterly targets. If you're part of NGOs, you're constantly trying to fundraise. But I think eventually it's also important that while we do development, we also have fun, right? And joy, fun. Exactly. All right. So this is a special leadership session, and all of my panelists here are leaders. They are representing different sectors. Very interesting. One is from disability. We have education. We have children, and then we also have A.K. Soni Saab, which you are an expert in multiple sectors. So I think we'll talk of different sectors and how it is relevant to aspiration districts. But this session largely will focus on innovation. Okay. I want to play around with the word innovation. And I would request, and then all of you will have, sir, about 8 minutes. So you're free to present, you're free to speak. I would prefer us to have a chat, if that's okay with all of you. We have not planned this before. Like I said, the idea is to have fun. So we can have a conversation if all of you are okay with it. But when we speak of innovation in this session, I want to break up the word innovation into 2 parts. One is know, K-N-O-W. You know what is know? Jankari. We often think that innovation always happens in cities. Innovation always happens in laboratories. I myself spent 15 years in the Tata Institute of Social Sciences. I left because I felt disillusioned, because I felt that the real laboratory is the field. So many of you today have a background in social work. आप लोग field से आते हो. And I strongly believe that knowledge is not just created in universities. Knowledge is created by NGOs, knowledge is created by corporates, knowledge is created by the common person. तो ये जो knowledge क्या valid है, we want to turn this upside down and we want to promote the knowledge, the wisdom of our tribals. For example, today we talk of sustainability. I chair the social sustainability standards for the government of India. And one of the things that I'm working on, which is my mission, is on cultural sustainability. How can we talk about the Bharatiya model of CSR? How can we talk about the Bharatiya model of sustainability? We have heard enough of lectures from the West, from the Europe, from America. I think this is the time for India. This is a time when today, talking of sustainability, our tribals, it's because of our tribals, and that is why, if someone can help me with my bag, we are celebrating the harvest season. I have actually got a bag which was presented to me by the Jharkhand tribal chief of the Sorai tribe. And you may know, those of you who have stayed in tribal areas in Jharkhand, that the Sorai is also a harvest festival. But how many of us know about that? We only know of our Makar Sankranti and Pongals, right? So I think when we talk of inclusive growth, when we talk of aspiration districts, it's important that we talk about our tribals. It's important we talk about people who have been invisible. And I think that is why every single time I have, and Rusenji, I commit from my side, for every event of yours I will be there. Because Rusenji does something that I don't see any other conference organizer do, which is to get voices from the margins. And you have honored them, Rusenji, you have recognized them. It is so good to know that these people, and often we don't hear about them in mainstream media. So I think today, when we talk of innovation, I would request each of you to showcase before the world what is the innovation happening at the grassroots, even though there's no certification. I think the ultimate certification, and I want to raise a tribute to Baba Amte. All of you must be knowing who Baba Amte is. Baba Amte said one simple line: don't work for the people, work with the people. So your ultimate impact assessment report doesn't come from a big 4 or big 6. It comes from the community. So if you are continuing to work in the community, that is your ultimate impact assessment report. Right, so with that, we have a very balanced panel, women on both sides. Which of you want to go first? Sure. Over to you, Manisha ji. Yes, and you have about 8 minutes. The stage is all yours.
I'm sure everybody is exhausted by now and looking for some change, and I hope I can deliver that. I have been in this field for past 16 plus years. My society will be 17 in June, and I don't say this word society much often because this organization which I head, I have raised it like a child, and our basic philosophy is education. हम सब ऐसे साधारण घरों से आते हैं जहाँ हमें सचमुच विश्वास है कि एजुकेशन एक ऐसी चीज़ है, साक्षरता एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो बदलाव ला सकती है. चाहे हमारा बच्चा कितना भी अच्छा कर रहा हो आज के समय में, हम चाहे कितना अच्छा आर्टिस्ट हो, कितना अच्छा स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन हो, हम उसको फिर भी ये कहते हैं बेटा प्लीज ग्रेजुएशन तो कर लो, पासपोर्ट बनवाने में आसानी होगी. So we still have that faith. We come from that basic thought process कि एजुकेशन नहीं होगी, साक्षरता नहीं होगी, तुम्हारी जमीन पक्की नहीं होगी तो तुम्हारे बुरे वक्त में तुम्हें कौन संभालेगा. So that was just a feeling, and good afternoon to everybody. We all know that India is a beautiful country of many colors. And yes, truly, India lies in the rural part of the country. हम बहुत सालों तक सेमी रूरल सेमी अर्बन इलाकों में काम करते रहे, दिल्ली और यूपी के. And this is the time when today I thought, I'll be a part of the CSR Aspirational Districts and Blocks Summit, because now we are moving towards the new location, which is again an aspirational district, Lakhimpur Kheri, and we have proposed we have actually marked our boundary where we have to work and what kind of educational alignment we'll be doing. At Abhinandan, we primarily work with at-risk children. At-risk children, those who are found at railway stations, at construction sites. Our two beautiful centers which are running on ground in Delhi at Nizamuddin railway station, and the second one is in Birondi Gaon. Both are supported by CSR partners. We believe that we can do some kind of change in their lives by only remedial education. We support them from morning to evening, and we work on the remedial education to connect them to the mainstream school. आप उस अंधेरे को तभी चीर के बाहर निकल सकते हो जब आप साक्षर हो, और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इस अचीवमेंट को पूरा करने के लिए हमें ऑफ कोर्स CSR का साथ चाहिए होता है, और कैसे 2026 में ये बदलाव और आ रहा है, हम कैसे और साथ में काम कर सकते हैं. Companies are now treating CSR like a long-term investment in people and communities, not a one-time activity. अब सवाल ये उठता है कि कैसे CSR काम करता है. CSR is now more aligned with the government, not separately as earlier. Many projects used to get worked in isolation. Now, the efforts are more planned with existing government schemes like health, education, and nutrition program. This helps reach more people as what already exists and avoid wasting resources. Now, CSR is more result-oriented and not just activities. CSR projects are now judged by outcomes, not just by how money is spent. Districts and blocks are measured every month on clear indicators like health, education, nutrition, and livelihood. This healthy comparison motivates everyone to perform better. Public and private working together. Companies, governments, and local partners are working as one team. If a model works well, like a better maternity ward or a community center, it is copied and used in many other blocks. In the health sector, saving time and of course a lot of money. आज हम टेक्नोलॉजी को और बेहतर इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं और अपने प्रोग्राम्स में इनकलकेट कर रहे हैं. आज डेटा इतना अवेलेबल है और CSR टीम्स इस पे क्विकली और एफिशिएंटली काम कर पा रही हैं. आज हम इनोवेशन की बात करते हैं जहां हम इस पैनल पर इकट्ठे बैठे हैं एंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इनोवेशन. सो डेटा So today we are incomplete without data and innovation, and we look forward at Abhinandan also that we are going to take things better, more equipped programs in coming future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Manisha ji, for setting the context. You work in the area of education, and we have seen that, in the aspirational districts, one of the major development deficits is in the learning outcomes, or also in the fact that these children, the enrollment ratio continues to be very weak. Even though we have seen in recent years the enrollment ratio has gone up, but we continue to find that for children to be retained in these schools is becoming a problem. And I think for society at large, for all of us, thought leaders, even seated in the audience, it's important for us to understand that education for what, right? So I leave that question to you, that is our present education system, we know about a national education policy, we know a lot of changes have come. But for all of those working in the education, in aspirational districts with that context in mind, where for them it is not about knowing when India got independence or about who our national heroes were, it is more about survival. So is there a need for change in strategy when it comes to education and skilling projects? I would like to draw from what you said, leaving the floor of the house. All right, next, sir, I would like Dhananjay ji. I'm told you are very, very active on LinkedIn. You are very popular. It's very important also, but we're very excited to hear from you, sir. And largely from you, you work on children. Yes. So I'd like you to tell the audience a little bit of how do you deal with issues of dignity, agency, privacy for vulnerable groups who often don't have a choice, like our children. How have you and your organization dealt with that? Thank you, sir.
Ronji, I will start off with the topic which you started, this innovation. And for us, innovation is not technology. Innovation is a solution. And solution can be found when you're looking for it and you're working towards it. I'll just tell you a short story which covers the things. Everybody has heard about Nithari Kand? Nithari, everybody has heard about it, and recently also the judgment which came. We are the primary and organization which is working on children, focusing on giving access of justice to the children. Our focus has been on child labor, trafficking, child marriage, all kind of child protection issues. And in solution, we are looking towards that education as being a primary solution. So when Nithari Kand happened, we were wondering that what was the cause, and we were thinking that the children are being trafficked. But when it came out, it was something more. Jari vivas tha. So we started doing a research on missing children, and we found that in 2011, out of 678 districts which were in existence, we were able to get the data from police for 345 districts, and there were 1,28,000 children have gone missing in a year. Out of which 70% were never recovered. Out of 70%, 80% were the girls. We worked on it, and when we were inquiring from the police, what we came to know there is no such term as missing in the law. मिसिंग की कंप्लेन की लॉजिक नहीं हो सकती है. किडनैपिंग की होगी, और किडनैपिंग तब होगी जब आपको पता हो, किसी पे आशंका हो कि इसकी याद लेके हमको गया है. तो जनरली पुलिस यूज्ड टू से बच्चा भाग गया होगा, बहुत ज्यादा कर लिया तो डेली डायरी एंट्री कर ली, बात खत्म हो गई. विनोदा केसेस जहां पे 8 साल के बच्चों को उन्होंने कहा कि बच्ची के लिए पुलिस वालों ने कह दिया कि साहब वो किसी के साथ भाग गई होगी. So the first thing which we thought that what to do about it, missing children पे तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता है. जब तक लॉ में इसका टर्म नहीं आता, कोई जजमेंट नहीं है. We came out with the research. We went for a PIL, asking for a solution for this. और हमारा ये था कि इसको आप डिफाइन करें. Delhi, under the orders of the Home Ministry, Delhi Police has formulated a SOP on missing children, in which they have defined what do they mean by missing children. In 2013, the judgment came from the Supreme Court by then Chief Justice Kabir, where he said missing children FIRs has to be registered compulsorily. And there should be a portal where it should be recorded. That portal should be with WCD as well as with the police and with all the departments starting from CWC upwards. They should record it so that it can be seen where the child has gone missing if he can be found there. And it was a presumption of crime was a doctrine under which he gave the law order. Sir, ये हुआ, order आ गया, चले 2 साल में काफी FIRs, cases of missing children were reported, increased very heavily all over India. But on the other hand, the number of children who were being found also increased. So जहां 1 साल में 1,38,000 बच्चे गायब हुए थे, अब आज की तारीख में 5 साल में जो न्यूज़पेपर से रिपोर्ट बोलते हैं 2 लाख बच्चे गायब होते हैं, जिसमें से 80% मिल जाते हैं. But in between this, we got a case of a child who has gone missing, who has been trafficked 3 years before from Saharsa, and that case came to us in 2017. And our parents have come and requested us to find him out. So in trying to finding him out, they told us a name, we found out, we did our investigations. उस बच्चे को बचाने के ढूंढने के चक्कर में हम लोगों ने कम से कम 150 से 200 बच्चों को चाइल्ड लेबर से मुक्त कराया दिल्ली में, just because of him. But child was not found. So we were wondering what to do next. So we are working in 20 states with the WCD, police, with the state government. So idea came up that let us send his photograph all across all the shelter homes in the country. So there were 2,250 shelter homes. We sent the photograph to our colleagues. They shared it with the shelter home. And within 3 months of that, the child was found in the shelter home in Haridwar. And he was reunited with the parents. He was 3 years old. When he was gone missing, he was 8. When we found him, he was 12. So from there, the idea came that and by that time, they tracked the missing child, and Khoya Paya portal was made by the government, Ministry of WCD, where all the details of all the children missing were being recorded by the police, and all the children found who were coming into the shelter homes was being recorded by the CWCs. तो उससे ये आइडिया कि अगर फोटोग्राफ से मैच हो सके तो बहुत से बच्चे मिसिंग चिल्ड्रन हैं जो कहीं मिसिंग हैं तो कहीं फाउंड भी होंगे वो. We again went to the court, and there we said that there should be facial recognition system should be used in the Take the Missing Child portal. And we offered them via services, we can help it out, but as being a private agency, so they were not very hesitant. So Delhi Police took the help of IIT Chennai and developed the facial recognition. And in 3 days of operating it, 11,000 children were united by the Delhi Police. Right? they themselves invited it 11,000. Other question which came up from there was that child has gone missing. Now, if some child goes missing from somewhere, how do we find him? Where can he go? Or where can he be taken? Even if we know the name of a trafficker here, we knew, but we were not able to find him. So we started working on it. I can say that, Sylvie, that at present, Just as for Children have the largest database of rescued children across India and of the largest number of traffickers database. We have almost 100,000 traffickers in our database and more than 150,000 children's details are with us. So we developed a tool where we can identify if a trafficker is operating in this area, so which are his source and destination areas. We are working with RPF, we took the support of RPF in this and we said routes which can be taken. So we developed a tool where if you fill in the data, then we can find out if this trafficker is taken, which are the locations, probable locations where we should start finding the child from his past thing. Also linking it with the vulnerabilities. What are the vulnerable areas where it can happen, which are the trafficking routes, which are the positions. So when we are talking of innovation, this innovation came long after when the thought of finding a solution came to us. So मेरे ख्याल से पहला स्टेप इनोवेशन का ये है कि हमको सॉल्यूशन ओरिएंटेड सोच करनी होगी. And that thought, as Ronji said, that thought comes directly from the field, from the understanding of the field. बहुत सी ऐसी चीजें होती हैं जो मतलब I have always been having a fight with the two lines of education. One is geography, other one is social work. I have not many friends who are, I'm a geographer. I have a lot many friends who are professors in MSW and I have always been saying आप लोग MSW में ये जो theories आप लोग डेवलप नेशंस की, यूके की, यूएस के थिंकर्स की पढ़ाते हो, उसका इंडिया में क्या मतलब, राइट? उनका वहाँ के सिचुएशन का इंडिया में इतने बड़े थिंकर्स हुए, इतने बड़े एक्टिविस्ट हुए, उनकी आप लोग क्यों नहीं पढ़ाते हो? और जो आप आज की तारीख में बंद कमरों में सोशल वर्क पढ़ा रहे हो, उनको फील्ड में भेजिए. They should learn from the villages what is real social work. The social work is not taught in the books. Same thing in geography also. I fight with my friends. The geography is not taught in the classrooms. It's taught under the open skies. You need to be in the field. You need to understand how the situation is changing, what are the changes. तो सर ये चीज हम जो बात कर रहे हैं एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक्स की, एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स की, one of the things with our experience, say, I'll just give a brief introduction about Just as for Children. We are an organization, we are an alliance of NGOs. We are working in 453 districts across India in 30 states. Two main organizations are ICP, that is India Child Protection, and Association for Voluntary Action, I'm also the ED of Association for Voluntary Action. We are the organizations who are working at having a partnership with, working in alliance with 20 state governments, with a formal partnership with 16 state governments, with police, WCD, labor, different departments, or SLSA legal also, SCPCRs. And at the district level, we are working with the small NGOs who have better understanding and better knowledge of the district, and who have been working there for ages and they have learnt about it. So that's the model. In aspirational districts, we are working with Niti Aayog in 104 blocks in 73 districts. Our whole model is based on strengthening the mechanisms of the district administration in delivering the services and strengthening for the protection mechanisms of the district administration, which are all in the laws, mentioned in the laws. They are not happening. So how you monitor, how you strengthen the systems which are already in existence, which are not, but they are not being implemented. So that's the whole role. We are working on it. I'll just show you a small 2-minute clip on this, what we have been doing. And only आप जो education की बात कर रहे हैं, recent reports says 99.96% children are in the school. Today I was in the Niti Aayog meeting, and we have been asking the district administration to give us a granulated data, name-wise data. So departments to the district administration say, why do you need the granulated data? So today I raised this whole issue to the additional mission director of the Niti Aayog also said that, of ADP also said, why do you need granulated data? I said, we need the granulated data because agar 99.96 children are in the school, then from where are these children who are working as child labor and who are being trafficked and who are going missing, from where are they happening? And who are on the street, right?
We should declare the country.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it says this. I said, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. He was talking about Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan and this. I said, that's a good initiative, but one bad thing which it has done, that is increase the enrollment rate, but decrease the retention rate. Teacher goes, we are working in the villages, so we know teacher goes to each and every house, write down the name, put the attendance. We have seen in the schools, enrolled students are 600, attendance is 150. You ask the teacher where is they, the teachers are not even aware about it. Right. So our role when we are working in the aspirational districts and blocks is this only, that how you strengthen these mechanisms of monitoring. That if there are 600 school students are enrolled, why 600 are not coming? What is the reason? And there are small reasons. Like we did in the district, and we have just placed one person in the district to improve the situation. So he is working with the district administration. He was asked to do he was asked to go and see an RC center, which had a capacity of 10 children. Only 5 children used to come. He found the condition was very bad. There was not a space where the 5 children can stay, 10 children can stay. And the total cost for improving this condition was just 4.5 lakhs. And with the
मेरा नाम कल्पना कुमारी, निशी कुमारी, वेरी हैप्पी, प्रीति कुमारी। आभा के भैया लोग मेरे गांव में प्रेरित किए सबको, तब से बाल विवाह को रोक दिया गया है। सावित्रीबाई फुले से जोड़ने का काम किए, और जब से सावित्रीबाई का पैसा आया, मेरा स्कूल का नियमित रूप से सुधार हुआ और मेरे माता पिता को शिक्षा के प्रति जागरूक किए, और मैं अभी डेली स्कूल पढ़ने जाती हूँ। और मेरा सपना है कि मैं डॉक्टर बनूं के फ्री में सबका स्कूल।
On January 16th, 2025, Association for Voluntary Action entered into a landmark partnership with Niti Aayog. A transformative journey began across 104 aspirational blocks in 73 districts across 12 states. The goal is ambitious and urgent: to ensure every child goes to school, to connect every vulnerable family to their entitlements, education, nutrition, health and social protection, and to build every village into a Surakshit Bal Gram, a society where children are safe from child marriage, abuse and exploitation.
हमें ब्लॉक लेवल पर ट्रेनिंग देकर बाल विवाह को लेकर जागरूक किया गया है। मैं इतनी जागरूक हो चुकी हूँ कि अपने गांव में कई बाल विवाह रुकी हुई है।
To turn intent into action, AVA placed dedicated childcare associates with the district administrations. These associates became the nerve center of the mission. They found the gaps, reactivated local committees, facilitated timely access to services, and brought departments together, driving convergence from within the system. Alongside them, Just Rights for Children, a network of 250 plus NGOs across 453 districts, carried out extensive vulnerability mapping. They identified children out of school and families left out of essential schemes and services.
आभा संगठन के द्वारा फॉर्म भरा जा रहा है, जैसे कि सावित्रीबाई, मैया समाज योजना, वृद्धा पेंशन, मातृवंदना इत्यादि।
By securing access to services, schemes and entitlements for every child and family, we are putting real safeguards in place. From building capacity through trainings to mobilizing communities and frontline workers, the change wasn't just promised, it's being practiced. To stop child marriage and trafficking before it begins, district administrations took focused action. 54 districts started tracking marriages at the panchayat level. 51 launched migration monitoring, cutting off trafficking at its source. सुरक्षित बच्चे मतलब विकसित भारत.
Wow, this makes us so proud, sir. More power to the work that you do and your organization does. It's excellent. Before we move on to the next speaker, ma'am, I think Singh, you brought about some very, very important points. The purpose of this panel discussion is not just to talk, but also to make us think, also make us set the agenda, because I think we'll also have a declaration at the end, which will be about key takeaways. So I just want to set the forum for that. So you spoke about strengthening SOPs and systems, and I think it's so important because one of the things that the Aspirational District program talks about is this whole collaboration, convergence of different layers of government. So one of the things that we often don't talk about in conferences on Aspirational District, which I think is so important, is this whole notion of governance, right? Because at the end of the day, we are talking also about how do we use technology, for example, to make essential services more readily available to people who are not able to avail them, right? So with that, I think we move on to ma'am Anuradha Patilji, the CEO of Cheshire Disability Trust. Again, a very important area of discussion, disability. Corporates often tell me that disability is a sector that we really, our hearts bleed for, but we think there is no exit strategy. So ma'am, if you can also tell us that how have you negotiated with corporates who don't want to support you for a long term, and they say that we will only give year by year funding. So what strategy has your organization done in terms of innovation? Thank you.
Good afternoon everybody, and happy Makar Sankranti. I would request you to play the video, then I will continue explaining that.
My name is Anup Kuruvela. I am currently the chairman of the Cheshire Disability Trust. We are giving them an opportunity to suddenly become wage earners in the region of at least 30 to 40,000 rupees a month. It's a complete game changer for them, for their families, for the respect which they have. We have been focused on project with Ujjivan and New Motion and Zomato.
I am Air Marshal Philip Rajkumar. I am the Vice Chairman of Cheshire Disability Trust. Today we have 18 homes spread across India, which is focused exclusively on outreach activities concerning persons with disabilities. Make PWDs economically independent and enable them to lead an independent life. We started in 2011, and I think so far we would have touched the lives of 15,000 people, and we have skill training, we have English language training, we have other computer literacy, and our main job is to identify persons with disabilities and see what kind of training they require. Many of them come from rural areas and they lack self-confidence, so part of our training is to improve their self-image. And once they are trained, we try and place them in jobs.
हेलो, मेरा नाम खुशबू है। मैं पूना महाराष्ट्र बिलोंग करती हूँ। मैं जोमेटो जॉब के लिए बेंगलोर में आई हूँ। रहकर मैंने कम से कम खुद पर डिपेंड हो गई हूँ। उन लोगों ने मेरी फुल सपोर्ट किया। उन्होंने मुझे बताया कैसा जीना है, कैसा नहीं, कैसे जोमेटो में जॉब करना है, पैसे कैसे संभालने हैं, क्या करना है। तो मैंने अपने आप पर खुद को ऐसा साबित किया है कि मैं खुद कमाती हूँ, खुद खर्च करती हूँ, और फैमिली में भी सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, आके सपोर्ट कर रही है।
People who really didn't have any significant opportunities, wage earning opportunities in life. But thanks to modern technology and the donors and the people like Zomato and us who have done the training, our needs are so huge. So we shouldn't rest on the current accolades, but strive to do much more.
Thank you. Now we have seen the wheelchair, which was this place called New Motion Vehicle. It is actually innovation, and you may be happy to know that it is the invented in India, this IIT Madras. So this particular vehicle acts as a wheelchair when it is indoor. the handle can be removed and it can be used as a wheelchair, and when the handle is fixed, it acts as a vehicle which can go on road. And we have helped this candidate with the proper training on road safety, and once they take this vehicle, we support them to be onboarded as a delivery partners with Zomato. I'll give this an example. The girl who was seeing on in a video, she's actually a person with spinal cord injury. So most of you may know that once the candidate is spinal cord injured, they will not be able to move around, and it also depends on degree of spinal cord injury they have got. And the girl who was in a video, she's actually got a severe spinal cord injury, and she cannot move on her own, and she cannot sit in a stretch for a long time, and she uses her urine bag because she don't have a control on that. So for her, taking up job was next to impossible, because any job which she takes, she has to work for 8 hours at least. Okay, and she having that personal issue of carrying a bag, urine bag with her, working in an environment where there are people around her, it is difficult. She may be willing to do, but people may not be willing to accept her. But with this new motion vehicle, she has been trained now, and she uses her urine bag when she goes in the morning. Actually, we have understanding with Zomato that when they take our disabled candidates as delivery partners, they give orders within 5 kilometers wherever our candidates are. If they are anywhere in Bangalore, based on their residence, the 5 kilometer only area is given to them for the delivery, and they go in the morning for breakfast delivery. They take orders for 2 hours, and they come back home, and she clears her bag, and again she takes a fresh bag and take rest for some time, and she goes for lunch orders. There is a gap between lunch to breakfast, 3 to 4 hours. Then after taking orders for 2 hours, only if she is willing to take, she takes orders for the evening also. But we ask them to avoid taking dinner orders because it is electrical, and this is electric motorized vehicle. It doesn't need any petrol. It operates on battery, and we have given 2 batteries, so they carry 1 battery in the vehicle and 1 additional battery which is charged. In case they get stuck in between, they can use the additional battery. Now you all may be happy to know that they are earning between 30 to 40,000. So you can understand the innovation, how it has helped our disabled candidate. Once upon a time sitting idle at home, now they are reached a stage where they are running so well. The other innovation which is not displayed here is for visually impaired candidates, the candidates who can't see anything. For them there is a smart vision, that the specs. If they wear the specs, they can tell that who's sitting in front of. May not be the name. If they store their name, next time when they see, they can say who is in front of them. But if they see any unknown person, at least they'll be able to say between the age, the man between the age of 50 to 60 wearing green color shirt is sitting in front of me. And they can independently move around without anybody's help. And also there's a smart white stick that also alert them, like how our cars that gives parking indication. Same way they have another, it's not a smart vision, the other one white cane. We call that a smart cane that alerts them that there is a hurdle in front of that. And again, this is invented in India. Actually, earlier this was only available in abroad. You might have seen Messi, the football player, has given ad for that. Some visually impaired girl comes in front of him and says, "Oh, hi Messi." Then he will be surprised how she knows he is Messi. So that was only available in abroad, and it was quite expensive. But we are happy to know that there is a organization called Smart Vision Private Limited in Chennai. They make this, and it is available for 30,000. The other innovation, which is Bangalore-based EduRise, so they have made a software. It's like an app which makes our children to learn whatever they are learning with lot of interest. There are a lot of games which is involved, and it makes us help us also to track where the children level of understanding is, because as you all may agree, each child has a different learning curve. So these apps and the software is helping us to track what is the level of learning curve for that particular child, and accordingly we can plan the sessions for them. And these sessions are very attractive. So along with this, just to talk about our Cheshire Disability Trust, Cheshire family is 60 plus years of presence in India, and we are present in 18 locations, and so far we have supported more than 30,000 persons with disabilities. We offer different services. One is residential care, health, and we also support them with aids and appliances, and we also help them to avail government UDID card, which is mandatory for them to avail any facilities. We also run livelihood training program for them, that is employment and self-employment, and we also run early intervention training programs, and we do lot of activities in creating awareness about their own rights. As you all, some of you may know, there is separate right RPWD Act for persons with disabilities. Many disabled candidates themselves don't know what is their rights. So we make an effort to go to all these villages and help them understand about their rights. So we also run financial literacy programs to make them understand the importance of saving. And coming back to what we do in particular to aspirational districts are, in Ranchi, we are more than 60-year-old. We have a Cheshire Homes, which provides residential care for persons with disabilities. Along with that, they also provide education, as I said, health. And recently, from last 3-4 years, we are doing exclusive livelihood programs for them. And you can see one of the boy, he actually got this vehicle from government, and he fixed the motor for that. And now he is using that wheelchair to be that motorized wheelchair. Now it is, because he has made effort to fix a motor to that. Of course, it doesn't perform the way the other new motion vehicle which you have seen in the video performs, but still he is able to work as a Zomato delivery partner. He came to Cheshire Home when he was 7-year-old. Now he is 24-year-old. So he has done his PUC, and looking at his disability, getting placement in a full-time job, transportation, like he has traveled only by auto, so he can't afford for that. So right now he is using this wheelchair, and he is working as a Zomato delivery partners. So you can see, if the proper support and guidance is given, how a disabled candidate can lead a life just like me and you, who they generally deserve, and rightfully they deserve that. And along with that, we also conduct disability awareness sessions to corporate. We conduct sign language training, and in case any of the corporate or any NGO who is part of this event would like to learn about sign language or awareness sessions, you can reach out to us. And just to quote an example for you all here, last year we have trained more than 1,362 candidates, and overall their income is 19.8 crores. Disabled candidates are not depending, they have contributed to the economy of the country. And it comes to aspirational district, we are working in Jharkhand. There are 2 places. I'm glad when they were displaying about number of districts in a state. Jharkhand has the maximum number of aspirational districts, and you all may be glad to know that we have strong presence there. We work in Hazaribagh and we work in Ranchi, and other than that, we also work in Tamil Nadu, Virudnagar, and we also work in Visakhapatnam, which is in Andhra Pradesh, and there is Adgiri, which is in Karnataka. So with all this effort in Aspirational District itself, last year we were able to, in last 2 years, we were able to train 1,000 persons with disabilities on employment, and on an average they have earned 8.4 crores in the last 2 years. So that's what we should be, only as innovative and the proper effort, proper guidance, they will be like me and you. And I would like to just show a demo, and I'll ask you all whether you are able to understand that or not.
I hear the demo is very short.
Very short. Did anybody able to follow? I said Happy Makara Sankranti. This is the line, this is sign language, which is used by our hearing impaired candidates to communicate. So our disabled candidate may communicate differently, they may walk or move around differently, they may see differently, but they are part of us. They are one among us. So my humble request is, whatever programs you all are conducting in any aspirational district, please make it inclusive for persons with disabilities, and any organization who is keen on working for persons with disabilities in any of the program, please reach out to us. We'll make whatever best effort from our end to include our disabilities. Thank you. Thank you.
Recently, he has also got very inspired, and he has come up with a new sign language that he's using with me to say the time is up.
Okay.
So thank you, ma'am, for... this is the time to talk about the mobile nursery. We spoke of disability. This mobile nursery that I carry everywhere is actually designed by children of cerebral palsy, and it's a great way in which we go back to our old conversations, because whenever we are together, we are always on our mobile phones. So this is why, we've had such a lovely conversation without us even looking at our mobile phones. Love the proactiveness with which you went I can see the passion in you there. And our last speaker coming up is A.K. Soni ji. He wears many hats. And notably, you have, sir, done excellent work over the decades. Why don't you tell us about a little bit of innovation in the aspiration districts? I think, yeah, I wanted you to introduce, because of course he has been with the Tata Steel. He has done many hats. So, Soni ji, maybe you would like to talk a little bit about your journey and what you are doing right now.
ओके सभी को नमस्कार, जोहार। 2-3 लाइन पढ़ूंगा, फिर मैं अपना हिंदी में आऊँगा सीधा। वेलकम टू द 17th India CSR Summit to distinguished guests, delegates, CSR leaders, policy makers and participants. Myself, A.K. Soni, a CSR and development sector leader with over 20 years plus leadership in core CSR and 35 years plus of contribution to India's development journey. It's an honor to address changemakers, innovators and leaders who are shaping the directions of the India CSR ecosystem on a global platform. ज़्यादा तो मैं आपका समय लूँगा नहीं, क्योंकि आप बहुत देर से बैठे हुए हो। थोड़ा सा टाइम मेकअप करने का प्रयास करता हूँ मैं। CSR एक ऐसी चीज़ है कि सोशल इंजीनियरिंग हर कोई नहीं कर सकता। मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग होगी तो आप बेरिंग डाल दोगे, मशीन को चालू करने के लिए शाफ्ट टूटेगी, हो जाएगा। CSR के अंदर स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट में अगर आप 100 का मीटिंग करते हो तो 10 मिनट के बाद में 4 आदमी आपके पक्ष में रहते नहीं है, और कंपनी बोलती है हमको सोशल लाइसेंसिंग दिलाइए, तो ये नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल है। फिर भी CSR के पीपल में पेशेंस होता है और वो करके दिखाता है। CSR जैसे अपने RCC स्लैब डालते हैं, उसमें आयरन रोड का काम करता है, ठीक है, और जंग भी उसी पे लगता है। जब मार्च अप्रैल के अंदर कुछ देने का आता है, और HR पीपल तो खैर यहाँ होंगे नहीं, मेरे हिसाब से आएंगे भी नहीं वो, और आएंगे तो सुन लीजिएगा। अभी रिसेंटली मेरा अभी रिटायरमेंट हुआ था, जो HR से मेरी बातचीत चल रही थी। मैं ज़्यादा समय नहीं लूँगा सर जी आपको, बट आपको अच्छा लगेगा। दीदी लोग सो रहे हैं तो उठ जाइएगा मैम, हम फिर कभी नहीं बोल पाएंगे, आज लास्ट है। तो जब हमारा रिटायरमेंट हो रहा था, बोले सोनी जी आप बोलिए। मैं कि बोलने के लिए तो कुछ रखा है नहीं आपने, तो हम सोचते कि मार्च अप्रैल में कुछ मिलेगा हमको, वो आपने दिया नहीं है। 4 में से 2 दिया है, तो ठीक है 2 का ही काम किया होगा। परंतु स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट मेरा इतना अच्छा है कि पिछले 10 साल के अंदर नक्सल जोन एरिया में एक भी एडवर्स कॉल मेरे पास में नहीं आया। यही मेरी कमाई है, HR कुछ दे या ना दे। फिर हमारे एक सीताराम जी ने शायद आपने बोला था कि, या किसी साथी ने बोला था कि CSR का एवोल्यूशन HR करता है, जबकि उसको CSR का ABCD पता नहीं CSR क्या चीज़ होती है। पवन सर ने हमने साथ में काम किया। सर का एक फेमस प्रोग्राम सखी वाला अगर आपने देखा होगा, तो मतलब कि मुझे ज़्यादा खुशी होती है कि सर के साथ में रह के हमने काम किया। और तो है, तो मैंने भी सोचा कि उधर टाटा में चलूँगा, बट उनकी समझ में शायद खुशी आया नहीं, इसलिए चला नहीं पाया। बाकी सर का अच्छा थी, मैं सर के साथ में हमने मिलके काफ़ी काम किया। और वेदांता मेरा एक फाउंडेशन स्टोन है, मतलब कि जहाँ पर मैंने काम स्टार्ट किया। और सबसे पहले मैं, मेरे बॉस जो भी इस दुनिया में नहीं है, एमआर सुल्तान जी, पवन सर ने हमने क्लोजली काम किया। वो मतलब कि CSR के गॉडफादर हैं, ठीक है। अब वो नहीं है, बट उनके लिए मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, हम तो डस्टबिन के कूड़े कचरे थे, उन्होंने उठा के हमको प्लेटफॉर्म पे लेके आए, तो हम हज़ारों लोगों की सेवा की आज हमने, ठीक है सर। और वेदांता आज जो नंदगढ़ की जो बात करता है, वो नंदगढ़ पवन सर हम लोग ने आंगनवाड़ी में जहाँ जा कर के 4 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में स्टार्ट किया, 1600 आंगनवाड़ी में अडोप्ट किया था। उसमें नमक मिर्च तेल हमको खरीदना पड़ता था। अब तो उसमें 1600 लिया था, उदयपुर भिलवाड़ा चित्तौड़ राजसमंद 4 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में लिया था। तो उसमें हमको पोहा मॉडल लाया था, न्यूट्रिशन। तो MOU से लगा सारा काम कि हम सुल्तान जी को बोलते थे सर जी का CSR काम है, हम नमक मिर्च का ध्यान रखेंगे, ठीक है। फिर एक चीज़ बोलते थे सर कि पानी में से मक्खन निकालो, वास्तव में मक्खन अब निकल रहा है, वो सही बात है। तो आंगनवाड़ी वाला प्रोजेक्ट, वेदांता बाल चेतना आंगनवाड़ी प्रोजेक्ट, जो अभी आजकल नंदगढ़ कहलाता है, वो सुल्तान साहब हम लोग की इसमें काफ़ी मदद रही थी। और इसमें विशेष सर का जो कॉर्पोरेट कम्युनिकेशन की बात हो रही थी, इनके बिना कोई चीज़ संभव थी नहीं। फिर वेदांता कंप्यूटर एजुकेशन, उसमें हज़ारों बच्चों को हमने सर साइंस ये लैब लगा करके तैयार किए। आज वो अच्छी पोजीशन पे, बट हमारे पास में उसका रिकॉर्ड नहीं है। उसी प्रकार मिड डे मील किचन की हमने स्थापना की थी, 6 मिड डे मील किचन्स किए थे। और IRDP जो आप GPDP बोलते हो आजकल, उस समय वही चलता था, उसमें भी काफ़ी काम किया। और जो ESG फ्रेमवर्क्स में हम लोग काफ़ी मदद करते हैं। किसी भी कंपनी का स्टार रेटिंग में CSR का बहुत महत्व होता है, परंतु CSR वाले व्यक्ति का कभी महत्व नहीं होता है, नहीं होगा। तो 2-3 कुछ सजेशंस मैंने लिखे हैं, शायद किसी को अच्छा लगे ना लगे। एक, जितने भी अपने आदिवासी भाई या जो एरिया में काम करते हैं SHG मेंबर्स, हर तरह का बीज अवेलेबल है, बट अपने पास सीड बैंक नहीं। मेरे साथी ने किसने बोला था, तो मैं उस पर कहना चाहता हूँ वो एक सीड बैंक की स्थापना करे, क्योंकि जिससे बांस का बीज है वो मिलता नहीं जनरली, वो 4 से 5 हज़ार पर केजी मिलता है वो, तो अपने को ज्ञान नहीं होता। और बहुत सारी स्पाइसेस है, तो उसके लिए बीज का सिलेक्शन भी करना चाहिए SHG के माध्यम से। फिर कुछ केस स्टडीज अच्छी है सारे यूनिट्स के अंदर या सारी लोकेशंस के अंदर, तो एक ग्रुप बना करके जो अच्छा ही है वो सबको सर्कुलेट करे, तो आदमी उसको सीख करके वो गलती में दोहरा के आगे बढ़ता रहे, कि उससे थोड़ा समय कम रहेगा। और CSR की पोस्ट जैसे माइंस में माइंस मैनेजर होता है, वैसे CSR की पोस्ट को स्टैट्यूटरी कंप्लायंस में डालना चाहिए। इसके लिए आप सभी को हेल्प करना चाहिए, क्योंकि एक बंदा CSR का एक यूनिट में होना ही चाहिए। जैसे माइंस में होता है, माइंस मैनेजर होता ही होता है, लाइकवाइज। और एक जो अपने साहब लोग हैं, उनको 3 साल से ज़्यादा न रखे, उनको बदलते रहे, तो कम से कम आपके काम का वैल्यूएशन आएगा इसमें। एक अच्छा काम किया था हमने सुल्तान जी के टाइम पे, गतिमान प्रशासन। अगर आप गूगल करोगे तो मालूम चल जाएगा। तो वो गतिमान प्रशासन झारखंड और छत्तीसगढ़ के एरिया में बहुत एसेंशियल है, क्योंकि आदिवासी लोग वहाँ पर आपके गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स में जा नहीं पाता और उनकी सुनवाई होती नहीं। तो वहाँ पर सारे डिपार्टमेंट जाएंगे, उस बस के अंदर सारे काउंटर्स लगे रहेंगे, तो गतिमान प्रशासन के अनुसार कार्य होना चाहिए। एक विशेष काम हमने किया आयुष्मान कार्ड और आधार कार्ड का। यहाँ पर क्या बीमारी भी ज़्यादा होती है, आदमी मर भी जाते हैं, तो उनको ये भी पता नहीं कि आयुष्मान कार्ड का क्या फ़ायदा है। तो हम लोग SHG के माध्यम से मैक्सिमम लोगों का हम लोग अभी 10 करोड़ से ऊपर का ये कर चुके हैं, लोगों का कार्ड बनवा चुके हैं। तो मैं तो अंत में थैंक यू बोलूँगा कि मुझे ये प्लेटफॉर्म दिया सर लोग ने, और आगे मैं भी जो भी CSR में आगे बढ़ूंगा मैं, और शॉर्टली आजकल मैं कहीं ज्वाइन करने वाला हूँ और छत्तीसगढ़ में काम करूंगा। थैंक यू सो मच। और मैं राजस्थान उदयपुर से हूँ, आप ही के एरिया से है, और आप ही के भरतपुर में एक डिफेंस डैम का जो द्वारका प्रसाद जी ने जो बनवाया था, तो आई वाज द वन ऑफ मेंबर इन कमिटी। हाँ, अब तो वेदांत छोड़ दिया सर हमने। यस सर,
Thank you very much. Abhi hum will keep the floor open. If any of you have, yes, if any of you have any questions, comments, feedback on whether innovation needs to be done differently in aspirational districts or the same strategy that is being used all over the country. Yes, ma'am. आप बोलना चाहेंगे please?
So innovation specific to that particular, there has to be proper research, which has to be driven by the government. And that's one initiative that I have been really taking, and I have taken one of the most backward districts of Bodoland, and working along with one of the central universities to really find out what are the real challenges in that area and how do we solve them. So I'd just like to know with the panelists if there is any support that they have really got from any academic institutes in and around, and very specifically to the actual problems which are in that aspirational district. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll actually request Dhananjay ji to respond to this, because you also spoke about vulnerability mapping, and thank you so much, ma'am. I think it's very important when we talk of any strategy or program, research and data to back it up becomes very important, and thank you for flagging that. in the valedictory address today, we'll have a little bit of discussion on higher education and education aspirations. But sir, Dhananjay, if you would like to respond to ma'am or add on to it.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, what you have said is absolutely correct. What we have been doing is vulnerability mapping. We started off with NGO partners. जो हमारे members थे उनको हम लोगों ने करा था. And we found more than 350,000 vulnerable families in 104 blocks. 50,000 around children who were out of school. जब वो डेटा हमने डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट के ऑफिस में शेयर किया, they refused to accept the data. They said ये डेटा गलत है. First reaction of the district administration was ये डेटा गलत है. हमने कहा अगर आप कहते हो डेटा गलत है, please send it in writing, as we have sent it to you in writing to the DM. We want an answer from you. तो उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक हम वेरीफाई कराते हैं. And that data was shared in July और आज दिसंबर हो गया, अब तक डेटा वेरीफाई हो रहा है. सर हम लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं, हम लोग पीछे पड़े हुए हैं, उनसे मांग रहे हैं डेटा, तो अभी तक हाँ सर नहीं सर नहीं, डेटा सही तो है सर, लेकिन डेटा सही नहीं है तो उसको अगर सही है तो आपको वल्नरेबल फैमिली से लिंक करना है. जो मैम बोल रही थी, मैम द प्रॉब्लम विद द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन द गवर्नमेंट इज दे डोंट एक्सेप्ट एनीबॉडी एल्सेस डेटा. अगर हम लिख के भी देंगे, आप लिख के भी देंगे कि ये साहब यहाँ पे ये प्रॉब्लम है, उनके कोई ना कोई डिपार्टमेंट से वेरीफाई करेंगे, उस डिपार्टमेंट से अगर सभी यहाँ कोई ऐसी प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं है. ये this is what we are facing, and that was one of the reasons why we asked that there should be a granulated data which should be coming to the DM's office, not the numbers and percentages.
Right, I think we will take one more, yes ma'am, because you have, but what sir has said is very important for you to understand that, and no one I think has spoken about it so far, that the Aspirational Districts program has been conceptualized by some of the best minds in this country. You have the Delta ranking methodology, so it's not just random, right? There is a strong methodology, there's a strong data, there's a champions of change dashboard that the Niti Aayog has made. So, you know, I think we have not spoken about that, and I think we will also talk about when this entire CSR and aspirational districts discourse started in this country. I have requested, we're very fortunate to have with us Professor Venkatesh Kumar, who will talk a little bit about this whole origins of the CSR and aspirational districts in the public sector, in the government of India thinking, and how Niti Aayog actually started it, what is the roadmap. So I think best to hear from his mouth. But yes, ma'am, we'll take that last one question and then we'll move on to the next. Yes, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Isha Rawat. I'm from Mumbai. I work in the Patgar area for the tribal community I work. Past 12 years I've been working with the education only, with the children. So suddenly I realized, ठीक है हम लोग बच्चों के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, but at the same time they are women. And I used to think, okay, 25% होगा, 30% होगा, but illiterate rate, still the women who never went to school are 85%. So past 3 months, we are doing this Saksharta Abhiyan, and there is no funds for CSR, there is no fund from the government also. And so we combined with the financial literacy program. So I tell you honestly, 85% women are still Angutha Chhap, and I'm talking about the women, their children goes to the school. So वो इतनी भी aged नहीं है, क्योंकि सबकी शादियां जल्दी होती हैं. So we have started this program where children are teaching their own mother, who never went to school. So I just wanted to, Dhananjay sir, if you can initiate that program with the children only, with their mothers, so we can teach them, then we can talk about progressive nation, or we can talk about the education, because dropout happens because of the parents also. He rightly said, we go to the school, 300 लिखा होता है, सिर्फ 200 बच्चे स्कूल आते हैं, कहीं 100 आते हैं, कहीं 50 आते हैं. So this is my everyday routine checkup all the schools, because no attendance is always what they mention on the board. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What I really liked about this conference, Ate Sitamji, we have actually unlearned a lot of things. What you said, ma'am, is that we have always grown up listening to educate a mother and the entire household gets educated. What you actually said was a very interesting case study, and this is why I think we have to talk about the Bharatiya model of development rather than just blindly taking from the West. I'll actually request ma'am, Manisha ji, since you work in education, if you would want to respond to.
Yeah, it's very well covered by you. Sorry, I didn't get your name. So, sorry? Isha. So Isha, thank you so much for leading us this way, because we are already working with the women on ground, and I started with the Abhinari program at Abhinandan, where I realized that, it will be only a scope of skill development which will lead to women empowerment. But very rightly said, बहुत सारी औरतें आती हैं और कहती हैं अभी हम अंगूठा छापे हैं, मैं पूछती हूँ पढ़ोगी, कहती हैं हाँ पढ़ेंगी. तो इतना अच्छा लगता है. And as just Rohan mentioned that one educated mother is equal to educated family. But yes, it is at our centers we see it's happening. As you mentioned, that you are also seeing that children are teaching their mothers. It's so beautiful. So let's go the opposite side of the coin and start working on this initiative also, because बहुत सारी औरतों का विकास अभी सिर्फ एजुकेशन से ही जुड़ा हुआ है. जब आप खुद ही विकसित होती हैं तभी आप अपने बच्चों को भी विकसित कर पाती हैं, और वो परिवार ही पूरा विकसित होता है जो देश के लिए मूल्यवान बनता है. So I would really appreciate that. Yes, all of us should work on this.
Rohanji, what you said just now, CSR for Aspirational Districts. And Aspirational Districts is really a good program, but the irony is focusing on the infrastructure more. Right? They are not looking at the change. Jitne indicators and champion of change is a very good thing, but that all are on the basic of the either financial inclusion or infrastructure change development, on those factors. But they are not looking into that education. I'll just tell you, education they are looking at the transition rate, but not attendance. We have asked them. You have marked the attendance also. Transition rate can 1st to 5th they are not, 5th to 6th they are not looking, 7 to 8 to 9, and 6th to 8th and 10th, right? But the large number of children are dropping out before that. And you are looking at the date, children who are in class, present in class 7, 8 who are going to 9th. But how many children from class 7 to 8 came? Right? So their main focus, so CSR also is companies who are funding the CSR in the, not only aspirational, this we have seen in most of the companies, like to fund which are the capital things. They're not working towards making a right-based kind of a thing, or supporting, or when you're talking of reaching out to the community, bringing a change in by changing the mindset. That is not being supported. They will be ready to support getting a school design.
Sorry, right? I think we'll take. Sir, you had a question in the front row, sir. Yes, sir. One last question, sir.
Rohan, I don't have a question. I have an observation that development these days means real estate development. And this is not only NGOs and corporates. I work in villages. And पंचायतों में, गांव में भी बात करते हैं ना, क्या विकास चाहिए, रास्ता, गटर, यही है. हम पूछते हैं शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, महिला सशक्तिकरण, या स्किल डेवलपमेंट. So right up to there, the brainwashing is gone. That development is real estate development, and that is a huge problem mindset which we will have to change.
Got it, sir. I'm going to be very inclusive. I will actually, Rosen is giving me bad looks, but I want to give power to the people. So I'll come to both of you, but quickly, sir, since you're a speaker, you wanted to respond, sir?
सर आप क्या कहना चाह रहे थे? फिर बोलिए. हाँ. फिर बोलिए.
Real estate development बोल रहे हैं, लोग चाहते हैं कि capital.
देखो अभी चीजें ऊपर से नीचे ड्रिवन हो रही है, ठीक है, वो ऊपर से नीचे नहीं होनी चाहिए. जो ऑफिसर्स में होती है वो नीचे से ऊपर ड्रिवन होगी, तो उनका जो लाइफ स्टाइल में उनको चाहिए हड़िया, ना आप पिलाओगे दूध तो पिएगा नहीं, वो फेंक देगा उसको. लाइकवाइज. थैंक यू सो मच.
यस सर, एट द बैक इन द ब्लेजर. सीताराम जी आपके पास आते हैं. We'll keep it quick, sir. Sure.
You mentioned about the Bharatiya model of I would like to share a success story where we deployed more than 2,000 female from tribal area for Tata Safari manufacturing plant in Pune. So I request all of you to just visit YouTube, Women Behind Tata Safari and Harrier. I will not take much time of this August gathering, but I am one of the person who deployed 2,200 female from a Kinwat district from Nanded, and those are the female workforce who assembled Tata Safari and Harrier. Thank you.
So I'm very happy to announce, and with Hussainji's permission, that Hussainji under his leadership is organizing an Ambedkar Film Festival in Pune. And we are going to be coming as part of that entire delegation. We'll be visiting the Tata Safari. So we'll speak after that. Thank you, sir. And so have a session. Sure, we'll speak to you post this thing. Lovely to see so many people from Maharashtra who are here. I hope you're well covered. I'm coming from Mumbai myself yesterday. Yes, ma'am. Last question, and then we'll end with the ladies.
Good evening, everybody. So I was a TRF alumni maybe some 23 years ago, representing India as a goodwill ambassador to US. And when I came back, I was a Rotarian as well. And so I went to actually many primary schools and encourage and give personal power empowerment workshops to prevent primary girl children dropping out from school. So I would like to, we are all talking about the tangible technologies today, but there's also a soft technology where we need to actually strengthen the family fabric in India, in the rurals. That's why, which can prevent the child labor, child violation of the child rights, the child abduction, and the education problem that we are facing. And then we also mentioned about 3 C's, where we mentioned competition. We have to take out competition. Collaboration and competition do not go together. We have to build a competence building should be added. Where
I'll have to stop you there. Sorry, ma'am. I will have to end this, but I think what you said was so important, and you're such a sweet face, sir. I can't say no to you. But make it quick, please. That's the last one, and the lady will have the last say.
Many of the members said, but who are not covering in youth. Actually, youth still now youth is very key role in our nation. But many of the organizations and other platforms like childs and other education related, but youth are suffering from after education also. Many of the youth are suffering.
So noted. You are saying that youth should be more included.
I am from Andhra Pradesh Youth Spandana Society. My name is K. Surendra Babu. We are creating one platform like youth for Youth Spandana Study Hall. I would like to request and suggest in entire CSR Aspirational Districts PM Study Halls. Pradhan Mantri Study Halls, who are working in those areas. Pradhan Mantri Study Halls, who are, is it good for all for youth,
Noted,
empowerment and...
Noted. I also want to, noted. Thank you, sir. I'll come to you, ma'am. You will have the last say, but before that, I think a lot of interesting, and thank you so much. Each of you are speakers. I really, Hussainji, it's so nice to see such active interaction with the audience. But I just think, because we are constantly trying to build the next session from what you are saying. I heard, ma'am, you saying about higher education and education. How can that be factored into the aspirational districts? I'm sure in the wider just we'll talk about that. So you spoke about some sort of a initiative involving the youth. We will also talk a little bit about the Prime Minister's Rural Development Fellowship. This was an initiative that was started in the TISS. We have a professor from there. I think all of your queries, we'll try to address as we build on. But ma'am, you will have the last say for this session, and then we'll wrap up. Over to you.
You did ask about, one thing I would like to announce is you all need to learn sign language, and hope next CSR Summit we will have one person with disability as a panelist, because a lot of candidates are capable of attending. And just to answer you, I think you asked us what makes you all to have a continuous funding from a corporate. It is the monitoring and the impact assessment what you show to our corporate company, which they can believe in. Our new ocean vehicle, we started with only one vehicle given by individual donor, but looking at the success of that, Ujjivan is funding us from last 4 years. Because Ujjivan has seen the candidates who are earning, we track their earnings, we share the report. I think the proper assessment and impact report given to the donor will, and also they taking part in our events. Seeing is believing. So if you get that confidence from your donor, I think you'll have a long-term funding. Thank you.
And I want to say that I'm very proud to be differently abled myself. I'm sure you've had better moderators who had a better sense of time management. So apologies for being differently abled, but I'm glad I was inclusive in my approach in getting all of you to speak. Thank you, ma'am, for that suggestion. Hussainji and I've taken that. Next year we will.
You are talking of innovation.
और इनोवेशन के मैं एक ही चीज कहता हूँ, बिल्कुल एक ही चीज है, वजवर्ड है, यू नीड नॉट टू री इन्वेंट द व्हील। ये सबसे पहला वजवर्ड आपका होना चाहिए। देयर इज अ लॉट हैपनिंग यू सी इन IITs एक्चुअली। तो कनेक्ट विद IITs। मैं बता रहा हूँ कि मैंने तुलसी माला का काम कराया है और 10 दिन गांव की महिलाएं IIT दिल्ली के हॉस्टल में रही हैं और वो माला कर रही हैं और 3000 महिलाएं आज काम कर रही हैं। चूड़ी भट्टी का काम था जो बिल्कुल करीब करीब भरतपुर में खत्म हो गया था और उन्होंने जो चूड़ी भट्टी बना के दी, आज वो एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ, एक मिनट सर, एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ कर रहा है, एक्सपोनेंशियल। तो इसलिए जितनी IITs हैं, जितनी ICR की इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं और जितनी भी आपकी CSIR की इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, उनकी हेल्प लीजिए आप। ये आप, और ये क्या, और ये फालतू बैठे हुए हैं, ये और कह रहा हूं मैं आपको, दे आर सिटिंग आइडल, मेक देम वर्क, इज योर ड्यूटी। और लास्ट में मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि कुछ बात हो रही थी कि साहब रियल एस्टेट का काम है, थोड़ा सा माफी चाहता हूं। देखिए, गरीब के बच्चे से पूछ लीजिए, जो गरीब का बच्चा है, गरीब जो मजदूर है ना, वो कभी भी ये नहीं कहेगा कि आप रियल एस्टेट का काम, वो कहेगा मेरे बच्चे के पढ़ने के लिए 2 पैसे दे दोगे, कि रोजाना मेरे पास आते हैं, डेली दे आर कमिंग। सो डिपेंड करता है कि आप सरपंच से मिल रहे हो या हमारे MP साहब से मिल रहे हो। तो MP साहब से मिलेंगे तो वो तो रियल एस्टेट की बात करेंगे, आपकी नहीं कर रहा हूं सर, सॉरी। लेकिन गरीब आदमी नहीं करेगा, वो एजुकेशन, स्वास्थ्य की बात करेगा। ये बड़ा, दिस इज अ वेरी पॉजिटिव चेंज। लास्ट में अटेंडेंस की बात हो रही थी, मैं मेरे सामने की एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं मैं आपको। आई वाज सिटिंग विद द चीफ मिनिस्टर शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी, तो यूनियन वाले आए टीचर्स, तो उन्होंने कहा भाई व्हाट आर योर प्रॉब्लम्स, तो बोले कि साहब ये नहीं, कुछ नहीं, आपकी सारी प्रॉब्लम मान ली मैंने, बोलो दस्तखत कर देता हूं, लेकिन मेरी आज सुन लो, आप आज मेरी सुन लो, मेरी एक बात मानोगे, मैंने तुम्हारी सारी मान ली, कि अगर आधा घंटे टीचर आएगा उसकी गैराजी लगा दूंगा, तनख्वाह काटूंगा मैं। और 11:30 बजे, 11:15 बजे, आज चली जाइए MP में, अब मुझे नहीं मालूम है, 11:15 बजे लोगों की वो आ जाती थी, टीचर सब भूले रहता है, गरीब सारे भूल गए, क्यों, उनकी डिमांड मान ली उन्होंने। तो ऐसा हो सकता है, गवर्नमेंट कैन डू लॉट एक्चुअली विद डिमांड।
बहुत कुछ हो सकता है, खुश रहो, एस्पायर करो, और हम सब एक साथ विकसित भारत की ओर जाएंगे। थैंक यू सो मच। विद दिस वी एंड द सेशन।